Hi everyone, a very good evening. Can you guys hear me, see me? Please let me know in the comment section. Quickly, guys. Oh, hi. Hi everyone. Hi Rukmani, Bhavnesh, Akash, Lokesh, everyone. I'll just wait for 30 seconds, let everybody join, and then we'll go ahead with the class. All right? Okay. So I can already see the participants are here, the students are here. All right, so let's go ahead with the class. So guys, today we will be doing 4 things: fill in the blanks, spelling correction, reading comprehension, and antonyms. Few of the things over here, we will be going ahead with, for instance, when it comes to fill in the blanks or when it comes to reading comprehension, then there are long passages and you have to practice them a lot. But when it comes to things like antonyms and spelling correction, here is where your vocabulary that you have had or studied all these years, that really matters. It will be put to test. So in case, again, that I'm saying that in case you are weak on your vocabulary, try to build it through good books. And there is still time. At least, there are flashcards that are available for good academic words, because that is how. So today we will be discussing what kind of spelling corrections are there, what kind of antonyms are used, because all the other things, you can use your logic, you can use your wisdom, your common sense, and you can go ahead with that. But when it comes to proper spelling corrections, all that you require thing. All right. Yes, Bhavnesh, please go ahead. Okay. Yes, Bhavnesh, go ahead. In lecture 2, parajumble question 4. Okay, now that, all right. Anyway, go ahead. I will have to get back to that PPT and see to that. I don't remember the question number 4. All right. Okay, Chalo, I'll come back to this, and then later maybe we can discuss about parajumble. All right. Okay. So fill in the blanks, spelling correction, and so on. All right. I'll just wait for 10 seconds more. Let everybody join in, and then we'll go ahead. Okay. All right, guys. So let's go ahead. Okay, so let's go ahead with the class. Okay, so fill in the blanks with the first topic that we are going. You have, this is the kind of question that you will get answer. All right, to answer, you will be having options. You will be having these many blanks. Now, there is a possibility, maybe there would be only one sentence that you have to fill in the blank. I have taken the extreme level of fill in the blanks, wherein there are 4 blanks and you have to choose among them. All right, okay. Okay, so over here, let's go ahead for this one. In the following passage, there are blanks, each of which has been numbered. Select the correct option to fill in the blank. Okay, so I hope everybody can clearly read the PPT. I'll just adjust it accordingly. Give me 1 minute according to the camera. Yeah, I think it's pretty much visible now. All right, okay. So what draws India closer to an obscure and indifferent picture are the dash tribes. They are their own personal identity, far from the dash trend and economic development, as Adivasis having their own language, religion, festivals, cuisine, dance, and music. With such and dash culture and hospitality, they also significantly hold a contrasting patriarchal and matriarchal society. The lively dash of the tribal community in India stretches from the remote villages tucked in the Indian Himalayan region to southernmost tip of India, and from the farthest corner of northeast India to the dunes of Rajasthan. Now, this is the question that came in 2023. Okay, so expect such fill in the blanks question in the coming exam also. So these are the ones. So, and the words are given over here: indigenous, contemporary, enigmatic, and tableau. Original, unique, oppressive representation. Obsolete, modern, enchanting, pressure, immigrant, current, alarming, and culture. Okay, so let me know, what do you think? Remember, when we talk about tribes, then there's a particular word that we use about tribes. Okay, excellent. Everybody is giving me the right answer. And yes, the right answer would be indigenous, contemporary, enigmatic, and tableau. All right, so let's go ahead with this one. So indigenous, this means native or originating in a particular place. When we talk about tribes, instead of using the word original, the prime word that you use for tribes is indigenous, something that belongs to that native land. This refers to the tribal communities as original inhabitants of India. Contemporary, meaning belonging to the present or that modern times, to that current scenario. Okay, so contrast tribal identity with current themes. Enigmatic means something that's puzzling, that cannot be solved easily. Mysterious and fascinating, describes the rich, complex, and unique nature of tribal culture. And tableau, a vivid, picturesque scene. Okay, so tableau is like a jhaki, जैसे नहीं होता है वैसे tableau होता है जहाँ पे it's like a beautiful scene that is projected. Okay, so over here, these are the words that you would be using, and here comes the right one. Okay, so make sure. So indigenous and original. Somebody might say that, ma'am, why is not the word original being used? Or obsolete immigrant is absolutely not at all. But for tribes, original means something that is real, that is authentic, that is true. Okay, but indigenous particularly is used for tribes, which means that they belong to that native place. Okay, so you will be getting very close options in your answer. Make sure that these are the little things that matter when picking up the right answer. Make sure that you do not get confused in this. And so this is something that you might have heard of the indigenous tribes. Everybody has heard it. Obsolete means a bekar. Obsolete means absolutely nothing. How can the tribes be obsolete? Are they obsolete? Are they useless? Not at all. They are very important. They are the indigenous tribe. They belong to the native land. Obsolete is absolutely a no. Okay, and are they immigrants? They belong to this native land, not at all immigrants. Okay, so this is the reason how it is being used. Next question you have: the ancient city stood as a dash of forgotten grandeur. Its narrow alleys and crumbling temples echoed with the dash of a bygone era. While time had dulled its own, it hadn't eroded the city's ability to dash curiosity. Tourists arrived not merely to see structures, but to experience a sense of spiritual dash that lingered in the air. Okay, and you have the options written over here. Let me know in the comment section. Okay, so also again for ancient city, what do you use? All right, exactly. Not okay. First, okay, all right. Just answer first of all. You guys take your time, and I'll just come back to the question. Yes, very good. I'm getting the right answers over here. And well, the right answer over here, why do you use the word relic? Relic is a model, an object that is belongs to the ancient past. And over here, the monument that you're talking about belongs to an ancient past. Okay, it's just not a reminder, it's a relic. Again, these terms like indigenous is used for tribes, relic is used for monuments, something that has been there years and years ago. Okay, since years and years ago. All right, so the ancient city set as a relic of forgotten grandeur. Okay, so this is this beautiful ancient city. There must be broken, fragmented structures, buildings, statues, whatever. It's like a relic. It tells us that there was an ancient past. Okay, it gives us those objects, that this entire whatever columns that they have, they give us an idea that there was an ancient past of this place. Its narrow alleys and crumbling temples echoed with the whispers of a bygone era. Okay, so over here, even if you put on any other word like symphony, echoes, clamor, okay, you can get confused with echoes over here, because whispers and echoes are the same thing, and they both are suiting also each other very much. Okay, however, what is the difference between is the word relic and model. Model can also be used here, but no, it will not be used. Why? Because we're talking about something that's archaic, something that's ancient, and hence the most appropriate would be relic. That's why I'm telling you there will be options which will be very close. Use your wisdom, use your be decisive in understanding that what word is used with what. Okay, so whispers. And then of a bygone era, while time had dulled its stones, it hadn't eroded the city's ability to. Over here, the word infuse will not come. Then in that case, you're completely ruling out C, because because these two words somehow can adjust, but infuse not at all. The monument is evoking certain memories. What is evoking? Giving way to. All right, so it's basically arising certain memories. So curiosity, tourists arrived not merely to see structures but to experience a sense of spiritual dash that lingered in the end, spiritual resonance. Okay, that lingered in the end. Are they coming to sense of spiritual abandon? First of all, abandon nahi aayega, abandonment hota to aata, but abandon, the word is not abandon. Presence, not at all. Chaos, not at all. What is it? Spiritual resonance. Okay, so in case if you are getting stuck on one blank, do not just keep on looking after that word. Go on, guess the second blank, guess the third blank, guess the fourth blank. Whatever seems the most appropriate, you will be able to easily answer this question. Fill in the blanks again is all about logic. It's not about what vocabulary and grammar you have. It's all about how it is. Yes, vocabulary is somewhere important because you have to pick up the words, but the words are not that big or bold enough that can doubt you at this stage. I'm sure that everybody has an English background, or even if you do not have an English background, this still is a vocabulary that can be acquired over a period of time or learned. Okay, and if you do not have them, then please go ahead and read the books that I just mentioned yesterday. Okay, so the right answer, relic, is object or structure from the past. Whisper, soft, sweet sound, quiet sound that we have evoked to arise, to bring forth memories or emotions or resonance, is a lasting effect or echo. Okay, so this comes as your over here. Next question. In times of crisis, leaders are expected to remain dash, acting not on impulse but with deliberate dash. However, in recent events, a wave of political dash has replaced rational debate, and decisions appear guided by passion rather than thoughtful dash. Okay, so over here, the words calm, intention, diplomacy, criticism, resolute, indifference, very good, strong words have been used. Look at them nicely and judge for yourself, because all the words are somewhere very similar. All right. It's a okay. All right, good. Are you guys ready to go ahead? Let's go ahead. Abhishek, I mentioned Ren and Martin yesterday. It's a very good book, Ren and Martin. ICSC schools use that, CBSE schools use that, where everybody who is think about, again, the people who are giving, everyone is giving me option C or A. The correct is option C. A is A over here. Okay, you can talk about calm, you can talk about intention, but when it comes to the terms diplomacy and criticism, that is when you lose. Okay, you lose the option A. All right, over here, in times of crisis, leaders expected to remain. Okay, over here, everyone is telling me calm. Okay, fine, calm, but the correct one would be composed. But I'm just, for your benefit, why A is wrong, I am replacing it with A for a while. Okay, so expected to remain calm. Let's take A, and I want to prove how wrong it is. Okay, to remain calm, acting not on impulse, but with deliberate intention. Okay, fine, theek hai. The intention till it's okay. However, in recent events, a wave of political diplomacy, not at all. Diplomacy, here is where you lose the plot. Here is where option C loses. It's political rhetoric. Okay, so diplomacy, it's not political diplomacy, has replaced rational debate. Not at all. Politics is diplomacy. You cannot bring the two words together. Politics is diplomacy. So political diplomacy replaces irrational debate, and decisions appear guided by passion rather than thoughtful criticism. Now, again, over here, even if you till third, you are not getting the point, then you come to the fourth option and you say thoughtful criticism. This entire para makes no sense if option A is used. Now, you are completely negating option B. Let's come to this option C. Why is it correct? In times of crisis, leaders expected to remain composed. Rather than calm, they remain composed. Okay, rather than composed means that they know that something has to be done, but we have to maintain that composure. Okay, acting not on impulse but deliberate restraint. They restrain from taking any violent action or any decision that might have bad repercussions in the future, right? Restraint. And then, however, recent events, a wave of political rhetoric. You use this word rhetoric. Rhetoric is means something, एक narrative, एक कहानी set हुई है, a narrative has been set, which everyone is following the same thing. It's not diplomacy, it's a rhetoric, has replaced rational debate, and decisions appear guided by passion rather than thoughtful deliberation. What is the meaning of deliberation? Soch vichar, discourse, discussion, that is deliberation. Rhetoric, all right, anyway. So in times of crisis, leaders are expected to remain composed, acting not on impulse with the deliberate restraint. How in recent events, a wave of political rhetoric has replaced traditional debate, and decisions appear guided by passion rather than thoughtful deliberation. Okay, so this becomes an important and a very crucial one, because there was a lot of confusion between A and C, but C will win the race considering all these. Please make sure that when you are answering these questions, you do not jump to the option. Make sure that you are using you're putting every word in the option, and don't convince yourself that this will happen. Make sure that you're looking at other options also and going ahead with the answer. Otherwise, this will be an answer in haste, and anything done in haste in a competitive exam, that's you losing the point. Okay, so over here, composed, calm, and in control, restraint, self-control, or moderation, rhetoric, persuasive language, often lacking substance, as in it's like a persuasive language. You're persuading something. A narrative is being drawn. A narrative has any substance unless and until it is backed or validated by certain arguments? Not at all, right? So rhetoric is being set, and deliberation means to think something, careful thought or discussion. Okay, so the right option comes as option C. Again, these are the questions which make you think and understand that fill in the blanks appears easy, but it is not. You might think that the two options that you are choosing in option A are absolutely correct, but the third can be wrong. Okay, so be very, you have to have a very sharp scrutinizing eye when it comes to this. You have to be very critical when you're talking about fill in the blanks. Next question. The artist's latest collection reflects a period of deep dash. Each canvas bears the weight of personal loss and existential dash, yet none descend into despair. Instead, the pieces confront sorrow with a sense of restraint dash, and viewers often leave with a feeling of shared dash. Okay, the options are given here. Please go ahead, read the question again and answer it. This is a pretty easy one. Hardly anything matches, okay? Okay, so think about this carefully, all right? The artist's latest collection reflects a period of deep. Each canvas bears the weight of personal loss and existential. There's a certain word when you talk about existential. Okay, over here there is a catch. Okay, yet none descend despair. Instead, look at the word despair. Yet none descend into despair. Okay, so their word will be closer to despair. Sorrow with a sense of restraint. Yes. And viewers often leave with the feeling of shared. Okay, look, okay, so ठीक है. A lot of people are saying A, B, C. Well, the correct option is B. Again, I will be using the wrong options and looking at why option B is correct. Okay, I will be using A and C, which are the wrong options, just to prove that how wrong A and C are. Over here, the artist's latest collection reflects a period of deep exploration. Okay, you want to use this word? Fine. I will use the word exploration. Each canvas bears the weight of personal loss and existential euphoria. What is the meaning of euphoria? Something that's positive craziness, something that's maddening. It's not euphoria. It's not existential. Euphoria, have you heard of this term? No. There are two terms when we talk about existential. It's either existential crisis or existential angst. Okay, so what do you mean by existential crisis? This is basically a literature word, and I'm sure if anybody is a literature student, they would be getting to know. Existential angst or existential crisis means questioning, self-questioning, that why are you in this world? What is your purpose in this world? So basically, I'm having a crisis that why do I exist in this world? I am anxious, I have angst, and I want to know why do I exist in this world? Euphoria is a positive word, but this entire tone of the passage is not positive. They are talking about deep latest collection artists. They're talking about some paintings. It's talking about art, and that is creating a sort of questioning and angst. The word despair has been used here. That's why I'm saying, look at the words that are being used. Okay, so exploration. Instead, the pieces confront sorrow with a sense of restraint, triumph. Not at all. Instead, the pieces confront sorrow. Can sorrow be confronted with triumph? Not at all. You are using the word sorrow over here. How can triumph be there? Not at all. Okay, and then viewers often leave with a feeling of shared. Okay, you can use the word mystery, but over here the mystery comes wrong. But chalo, I will give it a benefit of doubt. But are these two words coming along? Not at all. And hence this completely is ruled out. All right, now let's come to option C, which again is wrong. And how it is wrong, I will prove it to you. The artist's latest collection reflects a period of deep creation. All right, you're using this word, fine. Each canvas bears the weight of personal loss and existential confusion. There's not existential confusion. Again, I'm saying it's existential angst or existential crisis. Okay, chalo, theek hai. You're using the word confusion. For at least 1%, I'm taking it. Yet none descend into despair. Instead, the pieces confront sorrow with a sense of restraint, rage. When you're using the word sorrow, then there is depression, there is anxiety, there's all the negative, pessimistic things, not rage, not wrath, not anger. Okay, and viewers often leave with a feeling of shared solace. When you're using the words like despair, when you're using the words like sorrow, do you think there would be solace? What do you mean by the word solace? It means sukoon. When people will see so much of sorrow, so much of depression, so much of what else? The despair. Do you think there will be sukoon? Do you think there will be solace there? Do you think not at all? You want me to be slow? Okay, am I very fast? All right, I'll be slow. Sorry. Anyway, so guys, make sure this is the reason that this is also completely gone wrong. All right. Are you all guys getting the point? Now let's come to the correct option. Why is the correct option the correct option? And that is this. The artist's latest collection reflects a period of deep reflection, a very appropriate word. Whenever you're looking at an artist's painting, then that painting reflects what the artist is thinking, because there are no words to read. You can't read the painting. You can only reflect upon what the painting is trying to tell you. So a wonderful word to use is the reflection. Okay, each canvas bears the weight of a personal loss and existential angst. Again, I'm saying with words like existential crisis, existential angst, these are the words that are there. These are basically terms. Existential crisis or existential angst, these are terms popularized during the modern era, okay, in the beginning of the 20th century. Instead, existential angst, yet none descend into despair. Instead, the pieces confront sorrow with a sense of restraint, grace. There is restraint, grace over here. And viewers often leave with a feeling of shared. What do you mean by the word catharsis? It's a very beautiful word. I would really love to know if anybody over here knows the meaning of the word catharsis. I just want to know if anybody is a literature student. I'm very sure that you guys would be knowing what the meaning of catharsis is. It's a very common word also. And it's something that is not today's time word. It's a very long Greek word that has come into. Okay, so catharsis is basically, purification of feelings. All right, not mortification. No, that's too much of a violent, aggressive term. No, catharsis means when you look at something. For instance, when you look at a movie, or you look at a painting, or you look at any artistic piece, and you pity that thing and you fear that thing. So this was a term that was brought in by Aristotle. Everybody has heard of this philosopher Aristotle. Okay, I have written everything. All the words are written over here. I will talk about this. Okay, so everything is written. Don't worry, Abhishek. So talking about catharsis over here, catharsis means purification of emotions, purgation of emotions. When you look at a scene or a drama or any piece of art, a movie or a piece of painting or anything, you know, that arouses within you some emotions, certain emotions, and it's good to cry. It is said, now it's good to cry. Why? Because with your tears, your inner emotions get completely pure. So over here, that is what is happening, that the pieces confront sorrow with a sense of restrained grace. That means that there is beauty in those pieces of art. There is certain sort of despair, angst in those beauty. So what does happen? What happens to the viewers? What happens to the people who are the spectators who are looking at that painting is that they cry. They cry, and that is where the catharsis happen. Catharsis means to cry, to shed tears, in order to have, in order to purify your own emotions from within. Okay, it's a very beautiful term. It was basically used by Aristotle in terms of drama. Okay, so I'm sure intense emotions, like, right, release of emotions. Yes, so basically, yes, that's what the clues will be present in all your answer questions. You just have to find the clues. Okay, this is the reason that I'm discussing the wrong options first, to make you realize the presence of clues, so that in the examination, when you look at it, the clues would be there. You just need to find, it's like the opportunities in front of you. You need to find the right opportunities. That's similarly here. Okay, so you have to just make sure releasing of emotions from depression, exactly, from depression, or yeah, so pity and fear make you cry, or this kind of like that. Okay, so over here I have written the words meaning as well. Reflection, deep thoughts, especially about one's life or feelings, angst, philosophical or existential anxiety, existential crisis, grace, elegance and poison, catharsis, emotion release and healing. Okay, so purification of emotions, when you cry out loud, then that's kind of catharsis. Okay, I hope everyone's getting this point. Now please try to put the exact same theory that I'm trying to convince all of you over here. Do not answer in haste. Sit back, look at the answer, and try to take at least 30 to 40 seconds and reply. All right. Despite mounting criticism, the government remained dash in its position, choosing to dash pressing concerns with vague assurances. The public, increasingly aware of the dash between rhetoric and reality, responded with protests that grew in both scale and dash. Okay. It's a very easy one, by the way. The ones who are writing D, please do not jump to the first word. Again, my point is, look at all the words. Okay, definitely it's not D. Let me tell you. Look at the words that are being used here. Not at all applicable. Second word does not apply on the second blank at all. Okay, please look wisely. Have a good look at it. Don't rush into answering. Yes, now I'm getting the right answers. People who are answering late are giving the right answers. Why? Because they're thinking before answering. Otherwise, I'm getting D. No, how can D be the right answer? Okay, now look at this. Yes, the correct answer is option A. Very good. Everyone who's answering option A, they're perfectly correct in it. Okay, so despite mounting criticism, the government remained dash in its position. Let me tell you one thing. The options in the first blank will be very close to each other and will seem very appropriate. So do not answer the question looking at the first blank. Move to the second and third and fourth. All right. So put the word in every blank and then see for yourself. There is no point in, अरे बिल्कुल defensive, चलो बिल्कुल absolutely correct, इसी को लगा दो. No, government is not always defensive. Okay, there are other terms also that can be used. So despite mounting criticism, the government remained defensive. If anybody wants to know, chalo, theek hai, I'll do the wrong one first. I'll do the wrong one. Defensive, everybody was, some people wrote D, okay, fine, defensive. Government remained defensive. You want to use this word, fine. In its position choosing to dash pressing concern. Why will the government highlight the pressing concern? There are no jobs right now, so will the government highlight that? No, the government will try to push. So over here, this comes absolutely wrong. They will try to dismiss. Because if there is a pressing concern in the country, then will the government want to highlight it? It's common sense. It's not a vocabulary. All right. So despite mounting criticism, the government remained adamant in its position, choosing to dismiss pressing concern. Pressing concerns are the major issues, major concerns which trouble the normal people, public. Okay. With vague assurances. Vague matlab not real, something that's hawa mein, everything is like out in the, nothing is concrete. Okay, with vague assurances, the public increasingly aware of the gulf. Okay, so over here again, chalo over even if you was use the word bridge or gulf, theek hai, but over here this is ruling out wrong. Okay, so gulf between rhetoric and reality responded with protests that grew in both scale and intensity. Do you think the protest will go into discipline? How can the protest be disciplined? Protests are always intense and rebellious, okay? So they are both in scale and intensity. Very logical, okay? Oxymoron, can it be used for a person? Oxymoron is a figure of speech. You can't use it for a person, okay? So if somebody is, like, what do you want to say, Bhuvnesh? Like if the person is both, that person can be ambivalent, not oxymoron. Okay. Anyway, so talking about this, so I hope everybody is getting the point. Please do not look at the first word and you say, okay, this is totally fine. What do you mean by the word adamant? Ziddi. In Hindi, you say ziddi. Adamant means somebody who's very obstinate, somebody who's very stubborn, who does not move. All right. Okay. Intensity means power. Intensity means the how intense it is, how powerful it is. You know, for instance, how do the protests become powerful? When many people join in and the slogans increase and the echoes increase and the shouts are larger and higher. Okay, that's the intensity. Okay, so it's, yeah, it's very, yeah, impactful and intensity are different words, but this is how it is. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, intensity means the depth, how intense it is, what is the depth of it, what is the gravitas of it, what's the substance of the protest. It's very high. Some of the protests are very weak, fragile, they die out after 4-5 hours, but some protests, they go on for months and months. They are intense protests. The intensity is high of those protests. Okay, so that is how it's coming out to be. Okay, so over here you have the answers: adamant, firm, and unwilling to change, very stubborn, very obstinate, dismissed, to reject. Gulf is a wide difference. Intensity, greater strength or force. Okay, so this comes out to be the important point. All right, I hope everyone's getting the point. Now I'm coming to the next question. Please think before jumping to the answer. Please make sure that everyone is on the same page and giving me the right answer. Okay, all right. The scientist approached the problem with a sense of dash, aware that each step required precision. Even a minor dash could compromise the entire experiment. Through long hours and relentless dash, she uncovered patterns that would eventually lead to a major dash. Okay. So now the options are urgency, mistake, hesitation, collapse, diligence, error, persistence, breakthrough, panic, accident, resistance, solution, ambition, fault, detour, failure. The best thing about this question is every word in the first option has a different meaning. If you're able to crack the first word, then you can crack the other codes as well. Okay. Have a look. What do you think would be the right answer? This is easy. This is easy. Right? Very good. Yes. Yes. Very good. I'm getting the right answer. Everyone is giving me the right answer. All right. Okay. Bilkul sahi. So almost I think everyone has given me the right answer, and that is bilkul. So the scientist approached the problem with a sense of, and that is diligence. Okay, so this is diligence. What do you mean by the word diligence? Hard work. Okay, so with a sense of diligence, aware that each step required precision, even a minor error, okay, very easily you can suit it over. Even a minor error could compromise the entire experiment. Through long hours and relentless persistence, very good, over the word comes, she uncovered patterns that would eventually lead to a major breakthrough. Okay, over here that's coming as the right answer. Yes, these will be the level of questions, but it might increase. Okay, so the first question, some of the questions are PYQs, but this is the level that can come. It might increase, it will not be lower than this, that's for sure. Okay, so that's for sure. These are the level of the question that you expect in the exam. Next question you have, okay, diligence, error, persistence, and breakthrough. The philosopher's argument, while rooted in logic, ventured into a realm of metaphysical dash, forcing readers to grapple with ideas that defied empirical validation. His critics accused him of indulging in dash, reasoning filled with dazzling yet evasive terminology. However, to his admirers, his work represented a bold attempt to articulate the dash, truths that conventional discourse avoids. The debate continues, oscillating between charges of dash and praise for visionary insight. Okay, all right. Now tell me what would be the right answer. All right. All right, you guys are answering. Let me see who gives me the right answer. Okay, most of you are giving the right answer. Good. The people who read the question, then later answer, I think that is a better idea to go ahead with, rather than just jumping to the answer right away. Because, you know, once you read it, once you let the question sink in within you, then you give the answer. That is good. And those who are not participating, please do participate. This is how you learn. You think that it's okay not to write, but it really makes you think. Even if your name gets recognized or not, just participate. Okay? All right. Okay, so good. Let's go ahead with this. Well, absolutely correct. Would be the right answer. And over here, the philosopher's argument, while rooted in logic, ventured into a realm of metaphysical abstraction. Okay, over here, abstraction. What do you mean by abstraction? Means something that is not rooted. You can't see anything, that you can't touch anything, abstract things. It's not rooted in reality. Like, you know, as abstract. The philosophies are abstract, you know, so many religious ideas are abstract. I mean, they cannot be validated, or you know, they can't be argumented, or they can't be seen, but there is abstraction. Okay, so the philosopher's argument, while rooted in logic, ventured into a realm of metaphysical abstraction, forcing readers to grapple with ideas. What do you mean by the word grapple? To fight, to combat. Okay, to fight or to grapple with ideas that defied empirical validation. His critics accused him of indulging in sophistic reasoning. Okay, what do you mean by the word sophistic? It means something that's very clever. Okay, clever reasoning, filled with dazzling yet evasive terminology. However, to his admirers, his work presented a bold attempt to articulate the ineffable. Ineffable means something that cannot be worded, something that cannot be articulated, profound truths that cannot just be said. Okay, the ineffable truths that conventional discourse avoids. The debate continues, oscillating between charges of obscurantism and praise for visionary insight. What is obscurantism? Something that cannot be, something when you're revealing the truth, when you are hiding the truths. Obscure is like, you know, putting a parda, putting a curtain. Okay, you're obscuring the path, you are hiding the truth. Okay, sophistic means no. Sophistic does not mean orthodox. That means something that's clever. Okay, so over here, the answers are given over here. So abstraction, concepts not grounded in physical reality. Sophistic, clever but misleading argumentation. Okay, so sophistic is something that, you know, that's a clever argument but it's misleading. Okay, does not come to the point. Ineffable, too great to be expressed in words. Obscurantism, deliberate concealment of clarity or truth. Okay, so this is how your questions will come and will be answered. Next one. The novel's brilliance lies in its ability to expose the dash tensions lurking beneath polite society. With characters drawn in psychological detail, the narrative unfolds with quiet dash, refusing sensationalism but never lacking impact. Dialogue, minimal yet piercing, becomes a tool of dash, revealing motives, secrets, and suppressed emotion. It is in these silences and half spoken lines that the author achieves a kind of moral dash, neither judging nor justifying, but simply illuminating. Okay, so over here, the words are given. Let me know what do you think would be the right answer. Hmm. It's a very easy one. Okay. It's okay over here. Okay, I can understand B and D. People would be getting confused. I know, yeah. Everyone is almost giving me the right answer. Very good. Now, this is actually the thing. Very good. Everyone's giving me the right answer, which is perfect. And this is how you actually come to the point. I hope this exercise is helping all of you because everyone is answering B, and that is exactly how you do it. Okay. So the novel's brilliance lies in the ability to expose the latent. What do you mean by the word latent? Something that is hidden, but it is present. Something that is not very visible, but yes, it is present. Okay. So the novel's brilliance lies in its ability to expose the latent, and that is this one. Tensions lurking beneath polite society with characters drawn in fine psychological detail. The narrative unfolds with quiet restraint. Very good. Over here, everyone's given me B. Refusing sensationalism but never lacking impact. Dialogue, minimal yet piercing, becomes a tool of excavation. Okay, something. And over here, why excavation? If anybody is doubting this one, excavation revealing motives. What does excavation do? Excavation reveals things. So revealing motives, secrets, and suppressed emotions. It is in these silences and half spoken lines that the author achieves a kind of moral clarity, neither judging nor justifying, but simply illuminating. Okay, over here, these are the options that completely suit this entire para. And I'm very happy everyone has almost given me B as the answer. Very good. Okay, good. Good, excellent. You guys are getting the point. Over here, so latent, hidden, or underlying but present, restraint, control, or subdued, excavation, unearthing, or revealing something, clarity is insight or understanding that everything is clear. Next question you have, and that is, what appeared at first to be an economic dash was in retrospect a meticulously orchestrated realignment of financial hierarchies. The supposed randomness of the crash masked deeper patterns of dash where wealth was quietly transferred from public to private hands. The media's role in this narrative was not one of investigation but of strategic dash, feeding audiences a sanitized version of events. In this theater of finance, the illusion of control served as the ultimate dash. Okay, so over here, look at the options, look at the answer, and see for yourself. What do you think would come as a right one? Yeah, everyone's giving me the right answer. All right, please look at this question carefully. Look at this question carefully and answer for yourself. All right. Hmm. All right. Okay, good, good, very good. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. People who have answered option C is absolutely correct. Now let's go ahead and look at why option A, B, C, D are not right. Anyway, let's first look at the correct one. What appeared at first to be an economic collapse coming out to be right. Okay, fine. Some people are saying A. I'll consider disaster is fine. What do you mean by anomaly? Anomaly is something that is uh, different. That is what is to be expected, but it is anyway. If you're thinking that the word anomaly is correct, fine, I'll take that word. Okay, spike. Okay, all these four words are similar. They can fit in over here. Fine, I'm going ahead with all the four. Was in retrospect a meticulously orchestrated realignment of financial hierarchies. The supposed randomness of the crash masked deeper patterns of. So there, the supposed randomness of the crash, the economy crash, that masked deeper patterns of what? Reparation? Not at all. Injustice? Not at all. Rule it out. Intervention? Not at all. There was manipulation. There was something wrong. What do you mean by the term manipulation? To move certain things, to make certain things so that you say something else. Okay, so manipulated to to just change the order which serves you, which benefits you. Okay, so over here, when you come to the first, put all and you're like, okay, fine, everything is there. But then the second one, if you're able to rule it out, then once you have one slight doubt, rule it out. Okay, so you have the supposed randomness of the crash mask, deeper patterns of manipulation, where wealth was quietly over here. If anybody has doubt over the word manipulation, then look at the word quietly. Manipulation is always done in behind the curtains, very quietly, very stealthily, with a lot of tiptoeing. Nobody gets to know that. Okay, so wealth was quietly transferred from public to private hands. Okay, so it was public's money. It was transferred, manipulated into private hands. The manipulation of finances has been done over here. So the media's role in this narrative was not one of investigation, but of strategic analysis. Not at all. Clarity? Not at all. Complicity. What do you mean by complicity? When you are complicit, when you are together with the private organization, playing together so that the public gets fooled. Are you getting the point? All right, I'll let you know that, Mehak. Okay, so the media's role in this narrative was not one of investigation, but of strategic complicity, feeding audience a sanitized version of events. In this theater of finance, the illusion of control served as the ultimate deception. Who is getting deceived? The public is getting deceived. We are getting deceived because there's manipulation happening. Why? Because media and the private firms, they are playing together. Media is complicit with the private firms. Okay, so they are playing together, they are playing along, and this is the reason we are under deception. We are getting deceived. What do you mean by deceived? Dhoka. Okay, something that is, what do you say, dhoka otherwise? So you're being deceived. Somebody is giving you cheating you. All right, so deception is that. Okay, so feeding audience as sanitized version. Over here, tragedy, ultimate tragedy. No, it's not tragedy. It's a dhoka, it's a deception. Lesson, not at all. Symbol, not at all. It is deception. Okay, so Mehek, there are many sources. Somebody yesterday was talking about Norman Lewis. Well, there is Norman Lewis. But so much of matter is available online. Even if you go ahead and just type it out, that I need good vocabulary, how to go ahead with it. There's academic vocabulary. Everything is so much online. That go ahead and then alphabetically you get so many words. And if in the long run, if you want to improve your English, improve your vocabulary, just not for the sake of exam, then of course that's a long process, but that can be done, and it can only come through reading. For Indian students, because if you have to clear your IB exam and you have to remain in the government services, the best author to genuinely read is Shashi Tharoor. not because of his excellent vocabulary, but because his take on India, his research on India, and the entire geopolitical, be it colonial history, be it the present times. A very, very good book of Shashi Tharoor, which is available on Amazon also. It's one of my favorite books. It talks about India in the millennial, and it's a 2000, was written in 2000. It's Elephant, Tiger, and the Cell Phone. Okay, so I randomly keep on just recommending books. Shashi Tharoor's book, I often recommend to my UPSC students also. It's an Elephant, Tiger, and the Cell Phone. It's a wonderful book by Shashi Tharoor, great vocabulary and very good content, research content, something that will be valuable as as when you give services to the country. Okay, ma'am, let us read the paragraph ourselves. Please read when you saw the paragraph. Sorry, Arinesh, that can't happen. I have to read the paragraph because that gives me a sense that everybody else is reading. I'll give you 30 seconds time. In that time, you can read as well as. Otherwise, please close your ears and read it on your own. Okay? I have to read it out. Okay. Next question you have. All right. The historian's narrative is both expansive and intimate, weaving together archival dash with personal testimonies. By rejecting the grand, often dash accounts of national glory, she constructs a history that privileges the dash, the everyday and the contested. Her method, however, has drawn criticism from traditionalists who argue that such a fragmented approach leads to historical dash rather than clarity. Okay, and the options are given over here: omissions, objective, heroic distance; records, mythic, marginal incoherence; reflections, dated, universal bias; citations, fictional, silent unity. Read this again, look at the options, think about it, and then reply. All right. It's a very easy one again. It's a very, very good, very easy one because with the word archival, what do you mean by the word archival? I like the question mark. When you give the options and you give the question mark, do you think that you can do in the exam? Question mark, ma'am. Do you think B? No. Just give B and a full stop, not question mark. Yes, very good, very good. Everyone's giving. Excellent. That's B is the right answer. Why are we going ahead with B? Let's have a look at this. First of all, the very word archival. What do you mean by archival? What do you mean by archives? Things when you want to record or things that you want to document, things that you want to archive. Okay, old records. Exactly. Something that needs to be recorded. For instance, there was a wonderful newspaper that used to come in 1950 that was Illustrated Weekly by Khushwant Singh. It's still it is archived. It is archived in the National Library of India in Calcutta. It is there in Sahitya Academy in Delhi. Okay, so all these kind of things that will that can have some importance, that do have some value and importance, because how in 1950s the newspaper tell us a lot about the era. So those things, newspapers, journals, periodicals, all these things are archived. Okay, they are kept in the library, in museums. So they are basically documented or recorded. They are old history. Yeah. So so over here, the historian's narrative is both expansive and intimate, weaving together archival records. Okay, over here, records will be the first option. Very easily I can see over here. Omission, not at all. We are trying to archive, not omission. What does omission mean? To erase something. Reflections, not at all. Citations, not at all. What do you cite? When there are certain text that need to be cited. Okay, over here you are recording, you are documenting. Why? Because the word archival is over here. Okay, so archival record with personal testimonies by rejecting the grand, often often mythic accounts of national glory. Okay, so historian's narrative is both expansive and intimate, weaving together archival records with personal testimonies by rejecting the grand, often mythic accounts of national glory. She constructs a history that privileges the marginal. That's a wonderful thing. Privileges the marginal, absolutely the right word over here. The everyday and the contested. Her method, however, has drawn criticism from traditionalists who argue that such a fragmented approach leads to historic incoherence rather than clarity. What is historical incoherence? Something that you're not able to get it and understand it easily. Incoherent, samajh nahi aa raha, okay? So that is how it is there. Otherwise, look at all the other words. None of the words are actually suiting over here except the very words over here. There's a huge difference between all the other options. B is the right one that can be substituted, and hence you come to this conclusion. Okay, so records, documented evidence or data, that's archiving. Mythic, legendary or exaggerated. Marginal, people who live almost outside the society, underprivileged people outside the mainstream or central narrative. Incoherence, lack any logical or consistent connection. Okay. Next question you have, the speech, though delivered with charisma, lacked the intellectual dash expected of such a high-stakes occasion. Instead of well-reasoned policy, it was littered with dash generalities designed to evoke emotion rather than provoke thought. Critics noted the speaker's tendency to dash complex issues into binary choices, leaving little room for nuance. It was, in the end, a performance driven more by optics than by dash. So rigor, platitudinous, polarized, substance, clarity, informative, analyze, wisdom, eloquence, vivid, simplify, spectacle, depth, honest, dramatize, and action. Okay, so look at the word and answer it correctly. All right. All right. I'm getting a lot of other answers, and well, okay, there's a lot of confusion in this one. A lot of confusion in this one. Fine, I will put the wrong options first to let you know that how wrong it is, okay? Well, the guys, the right answer for this is this, A. Okay, and why are all the other wrong? We will prove it over here. The speech, though delivered with charisma, lacked the intellectual. Okay, rigor would be correct. Clarity, fine. You want to use the word clarity? Okay. Eloquence, okay. Eloquence is also, or depth. All the four words are suiting. Fine. All right, taken. Lack the intellectual, whatever do you want to choose, expected of such a high-stake occasion, instead of well-reasoned policy. Now look at the second sentence. Instead of well-reasoned policy, it was littered with platitudinous. Over here, what do you mean by platitudinous? Extra statements, something that's not required. Okay, so over here, the speech was very nice, of a good rigor. Rigor means a lot of substance was there. Okay, lacked intellectual rigor, expect such high-stake occasion, instead of well-reasoned policy, instead of a well-reasoned policy. It was a well-reasoned policy, but it was littered. Littered is a wrong word to use. As in, it's a negative word to use, not the wrong word. Littered is a negative word to use. It was littered with informative, not at all. If it was littered with informative, so it will not be using the word littered. Over here, this is a very positive word, informative. Informative means something that's rich with information and substance. Hence, B completely rule out. Littered with vivid. Vivid means something that's clear. Not at all. Vivid, not at all. Absolutely. These are positive words. Honest. This is also a positive word. It was not honest. What was it? It was littered. Littered means something that's garbage. Litter is what? Litter is garbage, rubbish, something that's bekar, something that's of no use. So it was littered with platitudinous. That means something useless stuff, useless statement, something that, hyperbolic, that is not required. Okay. Littered with platitudinous generalities designed to evoke emotion rather than provoke thought. Critics noted the speaker's tendency to polarize. complex issues into binary choices. Now the word polarize, what does the word polarize means? To set two things opposite to each other, to pit two things to each other. Polarization, this is exactly what we have also heard. Polarization is not an alien word to us, right? Polarization kya hota hai? When you are putting two teams against each other, when you're putting two parties against each other, when you're putting them against each other. Over here you're saying the critics note the speaker's tendency to polarize complex issue into binary choices. When the word polarization has been given, then the word binary is automatically there. Okay, so it is always polarized into binary things. One group is following this ideology, one group is following this ideology. Like we have right wing and left wing government. That's like polarization into binary choices. Okay, binary choices leaving little room for nuance. It was in the end a performance driven more by optics than by substance. Okay, so over here this is exactly what it comes. Eloquence means someone who has a wonderful way to articulate, to give a very beautiful speech without fumbling, without stopping, like very fluent. That's eloquent. There are people who come on stage and they give you very wonderful speeches without stopping once or without getting nervous, without fumbling. So they make sense. So that's eloquent. Okay, that's eloquence. A good, powerful speech is eloquence. Okay. Yes. All right. Oh, okay. Right. Everyone's getting the point. Everyone's getting the point. Please let me know. Okay. So this is exactly how it is. Okay. All right. Next you have. Okay. So we discussed this. Next point you have, and this is all right. The poet's late style is marked by a tone of dash, not resignation, but a hard-won clarity that strips away ornament in favor of truth. His earlier lyrical excess has given way to a kind of verbal dash where each word is weighed and measured. Themes of time, decay, and identity are rendered with austere dash, refusing sentiment yet deeply affecting. The result is poetry that feels both ancient and startlingly. Okay, so you have this one, and options are there. Cynicism, extravagance, beauty distant, detachment, precision, honesty, archaic, lucidity, economy, restraint, modern, despair, weakness, abstraction, and irrelevant. Read the question again and answer it. Okay, I'm giving you guys time for this one, all right? Let me tell you that there are certain the words which have almost been defined in the paragraph. Okay, look at this very carefully. The hints are very, very vividly given. You just have to catch on the hints very clearly. The hints are given very clearly. I will use all the wrong options and prove it to you guys how wrong it is. Should I go ahead? Or do you guys want more time? Should I go ahead and explain? Very few right answers for this one. Very few. Okay, have a look. Have a look at this one. Okay, so guys, over here, the poet's late style is marked by a tone of dash, not resignation, but a hard-won clarity that strips away ornament in favor of truth. Okay, over here, what do you mean by the word cynicism? Everyone who's giving me option A, what do you mean by cynicism? This is a very common word, something that I really expect all the students to know. I'm sure that you all are 17, 18, 19 years old and above. Cynicism is a very common word that means negativity. We are not talking about negativity. Look at the word, a hard one, clarity that strips away ornament in favor of truth. What does this statement say? That the line, the poet, what he's saying, the poet, what he's explaining is so clear. It's so crystal clear. There is no ornamentation. There is no excess words that is being used. It's not cynicism. It's not negativity. He's trying to say a positive thing over here. Detachment, it's a negative word. No. Despair, no. It's lucidity. What do you mean by the word lucid? And that's clear. The word lucidity means something that's very, very clear. Okay. So lucidity is over here. So the poet's late style is marked by tone of lucidity, clarity, not resignation, but a hard one clarity. The word is given over here. The biggest hint is over here. That strips away ornament in favor of truth. His earlier lyrical excess has given way to a kind of verbal extravagance. Verbal extravagance, I'm right. We are talking about something that's clear, something that is not ornamentation. What is ornament? Ornament is jewelry. What does jewelry do? What do ornaments do? Ornaments give you a very shiny, glamorous look, right? Over here, the word ornament is used for language. The language is not being shiny or glamorous or not very high flowing words is being used, but very simple, lucid, clear word is being used. So over here, lucidity, his earlier lyrical excess has given way to a kind of verbal economy. Matlab, what it means is that he is using few words. Verbal economy, what does that mean? If again I'm saying, if anybody is a literature student, I'm sure everybody knows it's a very, the words that we often use. Verbal economy, few words are being used in the poem to express a point. Okay, so over here it is lucidity and this verbal economy where each word is weighed and measured. Again, I was telling you that the hints are there given in the passage. The word economy means weighed and measured. Themes of time, decay, and identity are rendered with austere restraint. There is restraint. It is not beauty. It is not honesty. It is not abstraction, but restraint means control. It's control. It has been given in a very different manner. Refusing sentiment, yet deeply affecting. The result is poetry that feels both ancient and startlingly modern. Okay, so over here, this is actually modern poetry. All these elements are of modern poetry, and this is the paragraph. Precision means something that's concise, precise, written in a few words. Precision means that. Okay, so this is how it is. Over here, this will come. So lucidity, economy, restraint, and moderns comes as a right one. Okay, all right. Yes. So lucidity, clear and rational expression, economy, use of minimal but effective language, restraint, holding back from excess or emotion. Modern is relating to present ideas or style. Okay, so this comes as a one. Next, you have the urban planner's vision was dismissed as dash, yet within a decade, the city had begun to resemble his sketches. His proposals, initially mocked for their idealism, proved eerily dash, anticipating demographic shifts and infrastructural needs. What set him apart was his ability to read subtle dash in societal behavior, which others overlook. Today, his legacy is seen not as that of a dreamer, but of a meticulous dash of human movement. Okay, the options are given. Just have a look and let me know. Again, this passage has a lot of hints. Catch on the hints and you will get through this answer. All right, let's go ahead with this. Okay. Well, A is the right answer. Yes, A is the right answer. Most of you have given me the A as the correct answer. Over here, the urban planner's vision was dismissed as, now, yes, that day before yesterday, I think, whatever that we discussed. So, urban planner's vision was dismissed as dash, yet within a decade, the city had begun to resemble his sketches. Okay, so you can say utopian. Utopian is what? An ideal state. For instance, chalo fine, I can say that the urban plan's vision was dismissed. It was dismissed, so for us it's like could be negative. All right, so let's keep the word utopian as well, or it could be flawed, it could be visionary, or it could be abstract. All right, all the four words, though utopian suits the best, but just for everyone's clarity, okay, yes, we are coming to the all the options. So we are saying that this is all flawed. Okay, so all this can be used. All right, over here. Yet within a decade, the city had begun to resemble his sketches. His proposals initially mocked for their idealism. Now, over here, this term idealism is something that is giving us a strong hint. What is idealism? Idealism is utopian. What is utopia? Utopia is a city which is an ideal state. Over here, this term is reinforcing our guess that yes, option A would be the right one. So in our head, we are making a point that it's just talking about idealism, and hence utopian is the word that is matching over, and I'm keeping in my mind. But anyway, I have confusion, so I'm carrying forward. Proved airily dash. Okay, so airily prophetic. Now, what do you mean by the word airily? Eerily, eerily. In fact, eerily means something that's little spooky, something that's little supernatural. What is spooky? What is something, prophetics? When anybody makes a prophecy that after 5 years or 10 years or 100 years, this will happen, and that becomes true. So the word eerily over here is very suiting the term prophetic, which is coming over here. Is he saying eerily generic? No, generic means something that general people say, but no, it was eerily prophetic. All right. And then irrational. Over here saying proved eerily irrational. No, anticipating demographic shifts and infrastructure needs. Irrational. No, he was making all the rational, reasonable sense. Alarming, it was not alarming. All right. So it is not eerily alarming, anticipating demographic shifts and infrastructure. So over here, even the word anticipating matches the best with the word prophetic. Okay, because prophecy means to anticipate what is going to happen in the future. Isn't that the prophecies is all about? Okay, so this is the reason that irrational will not come. And then was his ability to read subtle dash in a societal behavior. Subtle, and then comes your word tremors. Tremor societal behavior, which others overlook today. His legacy is seen not as that of a dreamer, but of a meticulous analyst of human movement. Not as an architect or not a leader, not a critic, but somebody who was able to analyze and look through. Not an architect, but somebody who was able to look through and analyze what the society is coming out to be. Okay, so over here, these, even if you have two hints with you, you are sorted. You do not need to have the hints for all the words, but even if you have two hints with you, or even one hint, that's more than enough. Okay, shaking or trembling, yeah. Okay, so you have utopian, impossibly ideal or visionary state, prophetic, accurately predicting future, anticipating the future, tremor, subtle movements, an analyst, one who studies details to understand systems. Okay, next you have, and that is, okay, इसमें से सी फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स में से 2 से 3 क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं. एक पैसेज वाला क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, मे बी one can only come as one sentence question. Okay, so this, it depends on what kind of questions they're asking. Honestly, every exam paper has very different set of questions from the English language section. Sometimes fill in the blanks come, there are 2 questions, there are 3 questions, sometimes there's only 1 question. So it totally depends on what the examiner wants to understand and know from all of you. Okay, if the word idealism was absent, would option B be right? No, that totally depends. Why will we assume that idealism word will not be there? What is there that matters? If that word will not be there, then zaruri nahi, it is not important that that would be there. I mean, that's a very, I mean, why are you creating a conjecture, a hypothetical situation that the word will not be there? If it will not be there, then you, I mean, then it could be totally different. Okay, so every word matters. The exhibition draw praise not just for its aesthetic merit, but for its ethical dash. Each installation confronted the viewer with uncomfortable truth, resisting the urge to dash or romanticize suffering. The artist's refusal to cater to conventional taste gave the work a kind of raw, unfiltered dash. In a time saturated with curated imagery, her work stood as an act of profound dash. Okay, so you have the words ambiguity, exploit, aggression, rebellion, coherence, trivialize, sincerity, artifice, integrity, sentimentalize, authenticity, defiance, design, beautify, formality, innovation. Okay, think about it and then go ahead with this. Ma'am, in this type of questions, how many comes in? It depends. It can be 2 question, 3 question, 1 question. Totally depends on the examiner. What do they want to ask? I am not in control of this. Very good. Almost everyone's giving me the right answer. Good. C3 again. And well, I think it's a fairly easy one. The exhibition drew praise not just for aesthetic merit, but for its ethical, okay, integrity. Over here, why the word integrity? Because ambiguity means something that's unclear. Will it be there? Not at all. Coherence, okay, it can be there, but we can check for it. And design. Okay, so these 3 options we can consider. The exhibition drew praise not just for its aesthetic merit, but for its ethical integrity. The option would be this. Each installation confronted the viewer with uncomfortable truths, resisting the urge to, okay, sentimentalize, exploit, trivialize. Okay, we can say that, resisting the urge to sentimentalize or romanticize suffering. Over here, the word romanticize is given and the word or is used. A very big hint that we got to use the word sentimentalize than exploit or trivialize or beautify. Okay, so over here the word sentimentalize would be there. Why? Because the word or romanticize is giving us a very hint that there will be nothing but the word sentimentalize over here. So we are getting a good hint. The artist's refusal to cater to conventional taste gave the work a kind of raw, unfiltered authenticity, sachai, okay, truth, authenticity. In a time saturated with curated imagery, her work stood as an act of profound defiance. Okay, not rebellion, not artifice, not innovation, and defiance. Okay, I think everyone has given me C as the right answer. Does not require much explanation. You guys are getting to the point. The last question for this exercise is this. Then we're moving ahead to the next topic. Please take this as correct. If you take this as correct, then you are through with this exercise. You have got the point. Okay, so let's read this one. Though hailed as a big breakthrough in its field, the theory was underpinned by a series of methodological dash. The data, while impressive in volume, lacked the dash necessary to support such sweeping claims. Critics argued that the author had succumbed to theoretical, elevating speculation to the level of fact. Over time, the theory was not disproven outright, but gradually fell into dash, referenced more as a cautionary tale than a credible model. The words are given over here. Take your time, think, and give me the right answer for this one. Okay, very few less differences between options. Okay, so this is a carefully done. You know, people who always give me answer towards the end, they come out to be the right ones. Now I'm getting the right answers. Yes, C would be the correct answer. And you apply your brains, okay, when you do that. Don't answer in haste. Again, I'm telling you, though hailed as a breakthrough in its field, the theory was underpinned by a series of methodological. Now, a lot of people have answered A, B, C, D. Let's take the answers. By a series of methodological oversights, all right. Innovations, okay. Flaws can also be there, and errors, okay. Now, over here, the data, while impressive in volume, lacked the precision, okay, it could be there, lacked the evidence, okay, it could be there, or it lacked the rigor. This could also be there, or lacked the clarity. Fine. Till now, I'm getting all the options as correct. Necessary to support such sweeping claims. Critics argue that the author had succumbed to theoretical modesty, not at all, or succumb to theoretical neutrality. No, it was not neutrality, but overreach, something that has gone beyond his own capacity, overreach, or logic. Not at all. It was not something that has transcended even his own realm of his research. Overreach, that he's overreach somewhere, he stepped out of the line. Over here, C becomes as the right one. Elevating speculation to the level of fact. Over time, the theory was not disproven outright, but gradually fell into obscurity. What do you mean by the word obscurity? Wherein it is like under the carpet, nobody opens it, it's just hidden, it is obscure, it is not visible. So is it application? No. Expansion? No. Towards the end, we are seeing that the research has been obscured. Nobody even looks into that research. So it cannot be expansion, not application, not admiration. The word is obscure, and hence option C becomes as the right answer. Okay, so always remember, read these questions carefully and then answer. Flaws, weakness, imperfection, rigor, strict, overreach extended beyond justified limits, obscure is being little known or forgotten. Okay, so guys, this was our exercise on fill in the blanks. Such kind of questions will come in the exam. How many questions will come, that totally depends on the examiner. What sort of questions will come? Maybe 2 blanks can come, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 6, or maybe 1. Okay, totally depends on how it will be there. Okay, so next we are coming ahead to a very easy section, that is spelling correction. This totally depends on your spelling strength, how much spellings you know, what difficult words you know, that totally depends on you. This you can only develop your vocabulary and have a look. So I think we'll take a break. It's 7:23, we'll meet at 7:40. Okay, I'll take a 15 minutes break. We'll come at 7:40. I'll be back. Okay, and then we will be going ahead with the next 3 topics. All right, are you guys there? Yes, of course you will get PDF. 100% you will get PDF of this. You're getting PDF of all the lessons that I'm teaching. Okay. So guys, taking a 10-15 minutes break. We'll be back at 7:40. Please be there. And we will be going ahead with spelling corrections and then antonyms and then your reading comprehension passage. Okay. So I'll see you at 7:40. Hi everyone. Can you guys, are you guys back? Let's go ahead with this. I'll just wait for 30 seconds. Let's see if everyone is back and then we'll go ahead with the spelling correction round. Okay, hi everyone. Everyone's back. Okay, let's go ahead with this. So spelling corrections, this is a fairly easy one, and also something that cannot just be taught, but something that you have to work on your own. Again, I'm saying that vocabulary and spelling is something that has to be worked upon on your own. So we can just discuss what kind of spelling corrections come. And so over here, when we talk about this, then remember one thing, that I'm just trying to show you what kind of questions come when it comes to spelling corrections. Okay, so it totally depends what spelling can come, that cannot ever be predicted. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead with this. Choose the correct spelled word over here. Magnanimous, magnanimous, or magnanimous, or magnanimous. Okay, so these are the spellings of the word. And over here, what do you think would be the right answer? Pretty easy, not difficult at all. And I hope everyone is giving me the right answer. I'll just wait for everyone to reply and then let's go ahead with it. All right. Yes, everyone's giving me the right answer. Perfect. Exactly. That's totally correct. And magnanimous over here. Now, what should I tell you? That's a spelling, and you must know the spelling of the word magnanimous. So, if you're good with vocab and English, spellings, then this is a cakewalk for you. This exercise would be easy. Correct answer is magnanimous, generous, and noble. That is what this word means. Then you have the word. Choose the correctly spelled word. Idiosyncrasy, 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 or this spelling, C spelling, or D spelling. Okay, so go ahead and let me know what you understand by the word idiosyncrasy and what is the right answer for this. Okay, idiosyncrasy. I'll just check this again. Everybody is telling me B. Just okay, so guys. Idiosyncrasy is basically, everyone's got it wrong. It's basically S. It's not C. Okay, it's idiosyncrasy. All right, so over here, you can look up the Oxford Dictionary also. Idiosyncrasy, B would be the right answer. And over here, it's a peculiar habit or a unique trait or habit of anyone. Okay, so guys, the A, no, A and B is not the same. A is C. A is C and B is S. This is exactly why you need practice, because you have to look at each and every letter very carefully. Very carefully. Okay. So over here, this is the difference, and hence this is wrong. This is the one that comes out to be correct. All right. So everyone has given me wrong. This is a very big sign that makes sure that you are looking at everything correctly, nicely, and don't be overconfident when it comes to this. Is an easy, very easy exercise, but maximum people can get it wrong. Be very careful. All right. There are many tricks. Yes, there are spelling tricks wherein you can put, but when it comes to such kind of things, for instance, for instance, there is a trick for I and E. That is something that I remember I learned, and that is what I remember. So whenever there is I and E, always I will come first, and then E will come for later. Okay, so it's always I and E. But when it comes with the letter C, then always E is first and then I will be there. Okay, this is like a, kind of a trick that people use, and there are tricks, but over here there is no trick that is applied. Why it is there? You have to go to etymology, the root of the word, where this word is coming from, and all that. Better to learn the spelling. Okay, so there are no tricks for why S or C is used. uh, or even if there are, there might be in the etymology. Now etymology means the history of the word, where is the word coming from. Okay, so better is that you use this. Otherwise, over here when it comes to I and E, always remember I will always precede E. But when it comes to CEI, so C, always E will come first and then I will come. Okay, receive, deceive, all these words, always E will come first and then I will come. Okay, so this is something that is there. Correct answer, idiosyncrasy. Then you have the word, choose the correct spell word: canoisia, canoiser, canosia, canoiser. Okay, so these are the words. Let me know which one do you think would be the right one. Look it carefully. Canoiser is a very easy word, like a very common word. Everybody must have heard about this word. ये सब सबको पता होगा. Everybody, okay, everyone is giving me the right answer, and that is connoisseur is a very easy word, right? This is connoisseur. Okay, all these are, I mean, this is a very common word also. These are wrong. This comes as the right word over here. And you have correctly answer: an expert in matters of taste, art, especially in fine arts or food, and that is connoisseur. This is the correct spelling. Okay, connoisseur. Next word you have, choose the correctly spelled word: camouflage, 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 or camouflage. Well, this is also a easy one. Let me know that. Choose the correctly spelled word. Camouflage is also a very common word, something that you might have come across since childhood. It's a very fairly, we use it quite a lot. This is camouflage. Whoever is answering, camouflage होता है, camouflage नहीं होता है. This is GUE, flag. It's not flag. Camouflage. Well, A is the right answer. Yes, camouflage. A is the right answer. Camouflage, a disguise or cover to blend into surroundings. Okay, that's camouflage. Then you have choose a correctly spelled word: bureaucracy, 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 bureaucracy. What do you think is the right word here? So this is how closely your words will come. So yes, make sure that you are learning spellings very carefully, especially in today's time and age where everything is autocorrect. We tend to forget the spellings because we are typing and already the word is there. So we don't, our memory does not have that, ability to learn the spellings easily now as compared to earlier times when nothing was autocorrect. Now you just write two words and then the mobile or your computer will just catch the word. Okay, yes, very right. Bureaucracy is the word over here, and that how it is. So it is bureaucracy, meaning a system of government managed by officials. Then choose a correct spell word: acquaintance, 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 and acquaintance. This is a fairly easy word. This comes out to be very, very easy. Okay. Yes, everybody knows this. Acquaintance is easy, right? Acquaintance, everybody knows this word. Acquaintance, good. Choose the correct spell word here. Maneuver. Maneuver is the word. Maneuver. Okay. So as you say the word maneuver, you will get to know what it is. Okay. So maneuver basically has, American as well as British spelling. So let's talk about British spelling as well as American spelling. British spelling, this would be correct. Okay, Manouevre. Okay, over here, in fact, this is wrong because over here it would be, so in a way, this is an British spelling. This would have been correct had, uh, just a second, had it would be like this. Okay, E should be after this. This is this one. Once it is corrected, this is the British spelling. But in case this is there as it is, if E is given before R, then you will rule this out, and then you will come to the American version of the spelling. Take this in your exams also. In case there are spelling, it can come the American spellings or the British spelling. Your exam does not indicate that only British spellings would be taken into consideration. There's a huge difference between British spelling as well as English spelling. Even one letter get exchanged, and of course entire spelling. For instance, the word color in British, how do you spell the word color? It's COLOUR. But in America, how do you spell the word color? COLOR. Okay, so the chances are very, very less that both the spellings or the American and the British would be given. But in case the British is given, always see that if it is correct or not. If the British is not there, rule that out and see for the American one. Okay, so same here. Similarly over here, the American spelling, this one is correct. Okay, C is correct. American spelling, MANEUVR. Otherwise, in maneuver, what would be the British spelling is MANOEUVRE. Okay, so that is maneuver in British spelling. Choose the correct spelled word here: supersede, 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 or supersede. This is also easy one. Very easy one. I think everyone's getting me the right one for this. Yes, true. And that is supersede would be the correct. That is the B option over here. Okay, to replace, or supersede would be UPRSEDE. Okay, this is supersede. This was be the correct answer. Option A, not B. Just let me see this again. Supersede, again, it is S, not CEDE. Okay, it is SEDE. A lot of you have given CEDE as correct, but it is supersede is this. Okay, and that is supersede, SED, to replace or take the place of. Next word is, choose the correctly spelled word as reminiscence. Reminiscence, the spellings are very weak, guys. Spelling are very weak. They need to be taken good care of. Please make sure that you are reading whatever vocabulary, like all these difficult words somehow has to be learned. And there are okay, so tomorrow I'll try to figure out some rules that are used in spelling correction, and then let's discuss those rules. Okay, I'll try to figure out if there can be some. I have some books in which some of the rules are, we can't cover everything, but at least some of them, that will be easy for you all to learn. Okay, choose the correctly spelled words over here: reminiscence, reminiscence, and okay, so tell me which one would be the correct one here. Everyone's giving me the right answer. Yes, very good. Everyone knows reminiscence. Everyone is good. And that's the right answer. C. All right, reminiscence is this. Choose the correctly spelled word here: irreparable, 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 or this one. And the right answer is C is the right answer, guys. Irreparable, C is the right answer. Okay, the right answer, the right spelling of irreparable is this. Spellings are very weak. I can see that. Irreparable is the right answer. Okay. So guys, this is how the spellings will come in the exam. There could be many rules, but all the rules can't be learned. Some words, as I mentioned, they are coming from the point wherein the etymology. Some words have been taken from Latin, from French, from your so many other languages. French is mostly there, Greek is there, Latin is there, English has taken a lot of words from there. Now every spelling cannot have an application of a rule. You have to do the hard work and make sure that you are learning the spellings well. Whatever the rules would be, I'll try to give them tomorrow. Otherwise, make sure that you're going ahead with them. Okay, we are coming to a very important next passage, that is reading comprehension. Long passages would be given. 5 questions would be given. 4 or 5 or 6 questions would be given. The thing that you have to do is that you have to read the passage, read the questions, and then you have to give the answers. When it comes to reading comprehension, you can get full marks with one simple strategy. Remember that every question, whatever answer that you have to give for every question is present in the passage. Nothing is to be answered outside the passage. No hypothetical situation, no conjectures, no supposition, nothing. That passage is your world. The questions are being addressed from the passage and the answers are there in the passage and nowhere else. Okay, the answers could be hidden, implicit, not explicit, but it is within the ambit, within the range, within the domain of that passage. I hope it's clear with everyone, and we'll be going ahead with this. Okay, so this was the passage that came in your exam. Okay, these are the questions that are there, and we will be going ahead with the answers. All right, I hope everyone's good. All right, so do you guys want me to read the passage, or do you want to take your own time and read it? Should I read it, or you want to read it on your own? Let me know that. Read it on your own. Let me know that, guys, or should I read it out loud? We'll read. Okay, you read it on your own and then just write done. Whenever, if the first, like whenever you are done reading it, just let me know that done. Please go ahead and read. This is the passage. Just let me see. Yeah, this is the passage. Go ahead and read. This is the entire passage on one single screen. All right, great. Everyone's done. Let's go ahead with this. Excellent. So we have this as a passage. Now, next we are coming to the questions. Over here, the first question is, what is the author's main concern about algorithms? And after the first question, I'll again go back to the passage. Please look at the question, memorize it a bit. What is the author's main concern about algorithm? The passage is about algorithm. What is the concern? Look at this and tell me that what would be the concern. Should we just look at the options? I know they're always wrong. They're expensive to build. They repeat unfair patterns from the past. Excellent. They don't work fast enough. So can you see the answer is from within the passage? Everybody is giving me the right answer, and that is C. Right? That's absolutely correct. Okay, and that is C. What does black box problem mean in the passage? Algorithms are often used to store personal data. Algorithms can be hacked easily. It's hard to understand how algorithms make decisions, or black boxes are used in airplanes, not in technology. So, what do you think would be the right answer? Should I just go back to the passage? Okay, everyone's giving me the answer for this one as well. Well, that's absolutely right. And the right answer is, it's hard to understand how algorithms make decisions. Over here, we have the answer like, okay, first of all, they are being used to so that all repeat old unfair patterns. Okay, so because they use personal data. The first question was this: a major problem with algorithm is that they're not always easy to understand. This is called the black box problem. If a person is denied loan, it's hard to know who is responsible: the person who made the program, the data, the computer system. So basically, that they're not always easy to understand. And over here, that is what we have, that it's hard to understand that how algorithms make decisions. That is the black box problem. Next question you have: according to the author, how should we use algorithms? Avoid them completely, use them without thinking, use them only for shopping, or use them with human understanding and control. And yes, very logical answer for this is this entire. Yes, very good, exactly. Very right. And what is the author saying? That use them without human understanding and control. The limitation of using of using a smart board over here is that I have to go back again and again. But when you will be answering the questions, the entire passage will be in front of you as well as the questions. Right now, you read the passage, you have understood it, and this is the reason that you're answering. But in case you want to go back to the passage, once you have the exam paper with you, like the screen in front of you, you will be easily able to do 2 and 4 2, make sure that your answer is correct. Okay, so over here you might be having a problem, but otherwise you will be okay, I'm very sure. In the sentence to abdicate responsibility, the word abdicate means what does the word abdicate means? To take more work, to give up control or duty, to ask for help, or to do double check. Okay, abdicate means, what do you mean by the word abdicate? I'll explain. Abdicate to abdicate responsibility. Okay, let's. Okay, so over here, also depending important qualities, empathy. Okay, so over here, abdicate word is there, right? So also depending too much on machine for big decision can risk important qualities like empathy, moral thinking, human judgment, and being seen. But these things, human different. The real answer is not to use algorithm, but to make sure people stay involved and how the system being made. Where is the word abdicate given over here? Is it even given? Or is it not given? By the way, abdicate, even if it is given or not given, I think the word abdicate means something that you are, okay, and take responsibility. But it means that you're giving on the responsibility. Abdicate actually means to give up control or duty. Okay, so over here it is to give up control, not to double check, but to abdicate responsibility, to give up the control, to give up the responsibility, to give up the control. All right, so that is how it is. B would be the right answer here. What is the tone of the passage? Angry, critical, light and humorous, serious and thoughtful, confused and unclear. This is a very easy question. What is the tone? And exactly, that's right. It is a very thoughtful one, serious and the thoughtful, when the author is actually showing the concern what the algorithms is all about. Okay. All right. So these are the answers. Once you will get this PPT, you will be able to clearly state these. Next you have. In recent years, many cities have introduced bike sharing systems. Okay, you guys want to read this? Read this. Read this. Okay, so let's go ahead with the answer for this. Okay, so the first question that we have is, what is the main purpose of bike sharing programs? To make money for cities, to reduce pollution and traffic, to replace public buses, or to promote tourism? What do you think would be the right answer? Very logical answer for this one. We'll quickly do it. And yes, it is to reduce pollution and traffic. That comes the right one. That is exactly what the passage is saying. Why have some bike sharing programs failed? People don't like riding bikes. There were too many bikes available. The programs lacked good planning and support, or the weather was too bad. What do you think? The program, what does the passage say? Very clearly, the passage says exactly, and that is option 3. The program lacked good planning and support. Very good. Next, according to the passage, what is not a reason for the failure of some programs? Okay, high cost, lack of bike lanes, poor air quality, or damaged or stolen bikes. And the right answer is, according to the passage, what is not a reason for the failure of some programs? And that is, isn't poor air quality the right answer? Yes, poor air quality would be the right answer. That is what the passage was saying. Poor air quality is the right answer, right? Okay. What must cities do for bike sharing to be successful? Offer bikes for free, ban cars, ensure safety and good planning, or give free helmets? Question number 4. Very easy passage this was, and this was exactly ensure safety and good planning. The tone of the passage is humorous and casual, critical, sarcastic, balanced, informative, angry, and emotional. And what is the answer for this? Balanced and informative, right? Yes, good. Everyone's getting this correct, right? Very good. All right. Next passage we have here. Okay, you can go ahead and read this passage. All right, guys, done. Just a second. Give me 1 minute, please. I'll just be back. Okay. All right. So, well, the right answer for this is, according to the passage, what is the one major benefit of trees? They produce rain, they absorb oxygen, they clean the air, they cause landslides. And where the right answer for this is very logical, very simple, right? Screen is blur. Is it still blur? Anyway, finished. Yeah, see, that would be the right answer. That's true. And that is right. Okay, great. What does deforestation lead to? Cleaner, decrease in pollution, animal habit loss, or cooler cities? And the right answer for this is very logical again. Second is also right, very right, very right. That C would be the right answer for this. And then next would be, why are trees being cut down? To improve air quality, to reduce landslide, to make space for development, or to provide free oxygen? Again, logical answer for this one. Yes, to make space for development. Okay, and then what do experts recommend to protect the forest? Use more plastic, increase hunting, stop unnecessary tree cutting, and plant more trees, ban all industries, the tone of the passage. Okay, very easy one. This was very easy. 4 is also C, and the tone of the passage is what? It is emotional, angry, sarcastic, humorous, informative, concerned, indifferent, and casual. And again, this was C. All right, so all answers are very easy. Over this comes also as C. Next one you have. Okay, all right, let's go ahead with this one. Done? Everyone's done? Easy passage. Okay, so over here, what was the problem with books before the printing press? They were too short, they were easy to copy, they were costly, rare, everybody had access to them. So when there was no printing press, then what happened? Of course, they were costly, right? Right, exactly. Okay, everyone's getting to the point. What effect did the printing press have on society? Reduce literacy, limited knowledge to elite, spread knowledge widely, or caused more wars? Again, very easy one. 2 is also, what is the answer for 2? This is, they were costly, rare, and again 2 is also C. Okay, how will 2 be? Okay, spread knowledge widely. Okay, good. Who mostly owned books before the printing press? Farmers, soldiers, scientists, doctors, only the rich or religious group, teachers and students. Very logically, the people who will have money and power are the only one who are going to have the books with them. All right, and that is only the rich, right? 3 is also C. Great. Okay, all right, good. And then you have what role did the press play in scientific progress? It made science boring, it slowed discovery, spread scientific ideas, or replaced experiments. Again, I mean, logically, very logical, and that is, it's very scientific. The tone of the passage is critical, doubtful, descriptive, appreciative, harsh, negative, playful, and light-hearted. And it is, the right answer is, yes, food is C. It is descriptive and appreciative. It would be B, right? 5 is B, right? Okay, good, good. Okay, next parrot. Okay, so we have next slide over, next reading comprehension. Quickly read and then we'll go ahead. Okay, everyone's done with this. The difficulty level might increase, guys, will not reduce. It will be tougher, little tougher. But the point of reading comprehension is this only, that whatever answers that you have, they come from within the passage. They do not come outside the passage. All right, that is all. It only one comes. Reading comprehension is generally only one. Okay, so what is one benefit of AI mentioned in the passage? This is okay, just a second. So what is one benefit of AI mentioned in the passage? This is the right passage that this was the one that we discussed, right? This was it, right? Just a second. Am I on the same page? Okay, sorry. Yes, and the right answer is uh, yeah, it reduces errors and saves time. Two is C. Or one. What is the concern related to AI? It could. Yes, that's true. One is C. Two is C. That's true. Very true. In which area is AI not mentioned as useful? Medicine, sports, coaching, transportation, and education. And very logically, sports cannot be taught by AI. What does the author suggest about AI and ethics? Machine should replace judges. Machine must be given. Ideas must follow laws and fairness. Yes, 4D. Right, 4 would be D very logically. That is there given in the passage. And fifth one, the tone of the passage is balanced and thoughtful. Right? Okay. And the last passage that we have, this is the last passage for reading comprehension. Quickly read it, and then we're going ahead to antonyms. Okay, you guys are done? Done? All right, so let's go ahead and discuss the questions. What is a growth mindset? What is the right answer for this? Believing intelligence is fixed, avoiding hard work, believing you can improve through effort. And well, the right answer for this is absolutely right. C answer. One is C. What do people think with a fixed mindset often do? Work harder after failing, take on tough risks, get discouraged and quit, and learn from others. And two is also C, right? Two is also C. Good. Who introduced the idea of growth mindset? What is the name that is mentioned there? Albert Einstein, Carol Dweck, Sigmund Freud, or Stephen Hawking? Who was the one? Right. Two, Carol Dweck is the one that's mentioned in the passage, right? Good. According to the passage, success comes from natural talent, social connections, hard work and persistence, or avoiding risk. Four is hard work and persistence, very much given in the passage very clearly. What is the tone of the passage? Critical, sarcastic, it is motivational, informative, doubtful, negative, or boring and repetitive. And the right answer is it is motivational and informative, right? That's the B5 is B. Okay, so guys, with this, we have come to the end of our reading comprehension. Again, this was just a practice set wherein you have to read the passage, give the answers accordingly. The level of questions will increase, that's for sure, but nothing will decrease. And that is how the passage, remember one thing, whenever you're answering the passage, make sure to understand one very basic idea that everything, the entire answers are given in the passage. If you do not find it in the passage, read it again. A hint would be given, something would be implied, but it would be in the passage. Now we're coming to antonyms. What do you mean by the word antonyms? Opposite. Okay, so for instance, the opposite of beautiful is ugly. The opposite of smart is clumsy. This opposite of dark is light. Okay, so that's the antonym that you have. All right, so over here, again, when it comes about the word antonyms, it is testing your vocabulary. And also what I have seen is antonyms come a lot, a lot. There has to be, I'll just check with this book. Just a second, guys. So guys, this book, I have this book, Norman Lewis ka Word Power Made Easy. Very easily available on Amazon and all. And well, there are words. You will not completely find different. Just let me see what is it. Okay, dictionary, how to read, dictionary of correct spelling. Okay, there is a dictionary of correct spelling. There is an index over here. I'm just giving you an idea that you guys can go ahead with this. Better English, instant word power, instant spelling power, dictionary of pronunciation, reading, spelling, vocabulary, pronunciation, 6 weeks of work power, word written romantic series, all about words, how to build a better vocabulary, questions you always to ask about English, change the way you speak, get your dream job. This will not be a waste of money. That I would say. It's only for 169 rupees, and I think in Amazon maybe for 100 or 90 rupees. Maybe, I don't think so. It's a very expensive book, and it's a good book. If you really want to go ahead with, Norman Lewis is a very big name when it comes to building vocabulary. Somebody yesterday was also mentioning Norman Lewis. For grammar polishing, Renan Martin is good. Renan Martin is used by ICSC and CBSE schools. Norman Lewis is something that everyone of all ages use that. Okay, if you want to go ahead, have a look at this one. But the point is, you have to sharpen your vocabulary. Nothing will be able to do that but your own self. Okay, so Norman Lewis is my recommendation. If there is another book that you're following, always remember that whatever book that you buy, it has a good publication house. It is not a cheap one. It is not a local one. It is not self-published. It either has to be Oxford University Press, Penguin, or Orient Black Swan, anything that is of prestige. Okay. The name of the book is Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. I'll just bring it to the camera. This is the Word Power Made Easy, Norman Lewis. I hope you guys have taken a picture or a screenshot of this. It's a very, very renowned, famous book. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead with this one. Okay, so select the antonym of the word clandestine. What do you mean by the word clandestine? Iska to jawab, you can only answer this once you have the meaning of the word clandestine, right? Clandestine means something that's very secretive. Writer is Norman Lewis. I'll just type it over here. Wait a second. Norman Lewis. Okay, that's the name of the writer, Norman Lewis, and Word Power Made Easy. What is the meaning of the word? Select the antonym of the word clandestine. Clandestine का तो मतलब ही covert. I want to understand what is the opposite of clandestine. Overt, right? Clandestine, when anything is secret, overt means something is out in the open, right? Exactly. It's a very popular book, right? So overt, clandestine means secretive, overt means open or visible. Okay, then you have select the antonym of the word acrimonious. What do you mean by the word acrimonious? Bitter. What was the antonym, not the meaning? Acrimonious ka matlab is different. What is the opposite of the word acrimonious? Bitter, hostile, cordial, spiteful. What do you mean by the word acrimonious? Very angry. Acrimonious, somebody who's all the time fighting, all the time angry. What is the opposite of acrimonious? In that sense, the opposite of acrimonious is cordial. I'm being cordial to you, okay? Yes, it is cordial, not spiteful. Cordial means someone who's friendly, who's nice to you, okay? So, cordial, acrimonious means bitter or harsh. Somebody is angry. Cordial means warm and friendly. Select the antonym of the word taciturn. What do you mean by the word taciturn? Reserved, talkative, silent, or shy. Taciturn. What is the antonym? What is the opposite of taciturn? Taciturn. What do you mean by the term taciturn? Somebody who is quiet, somebody who does not speak a lot, somebody who's reserved. That is the meaning of taciturn. So what would be the opposite of taciturn? Taciturn means somebody who is all the time quiet, shanti. Okay, my classmate is very taciturn. She doesn't speak to me much. So what is the opposite of taciturn? Somebody who speaks a lot, right? Talkative. The meaning of taciturn is silent, reserved, and shy. The meaning of taciturn is silent, reserved, shy. Opposite will be talkative, okay? So we're talkative. Taciturn means uncommunicative. Talkative is the opposite of this, okay? So what do you mean by the word? Next you have Select the antonym of the word lugubrious. 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 What does the word lugubrious mean? Once you know it, very easy to find out the meaning, antonym of this word. Lugubrious means gloomy. Lugubrious means somebody who's very sad, very gloomy all the time, disappointed, upset, in a very negative mood. Select the antonym. You have to find the antonym of the word lugubrious, the opposite of the word lugubrious. What is the opposite of the word lugubrious? And that is someone who's joyful, somebody who's cheerful, who's always happy. So yes, B would be the right answer. So lugubrious means excessive, sad or glooming. Joyful is the opposite of lugubrious. Next question, you have select the antonym of the word pernicious. What do you mean by the word pernicious? And then you figure out the opposite of it. Pernicious. Yes, very good. Good. A lot of students are giving me the right. Pernicious means somebody which something that can harm you a lot. And what is the harmful? The harmful of is harmless. Okay, the opposite of harmful is harmless. Pernicious means highly harmful. Harmless is its antonym. Okay, pernicious means something that harms a lot, and the opposite is harmless. Select the antonym of the word recalcitrant. What do you mean by the word recalcitrant? And then you figure out the opposite of it. Recalcitrant. Somebody who is, yes, somebody who's defiant, who's disobedient, who does not listen to you. So the opposite of recalcitrant would be somebody who is obedient, right? So A would be the right answer. Okay, over here we have obedient. Recalcitrant means disobedient. Obedient is the opposite of it. Select the antonym of the word ubiquitous. Ubiquitous. What does this word mean? Ubiquitous. Ubiquitous. Something that you find everywhere. Everywhere. Ubiquitous is something that you find everywhere. What is the opposite of this? Yes, something that you find very rarely, something that is very precious. You don't find it very easily. Ubiquitous is like everywhere. Okay, so rare would be the right answer. So rare, ubiquitous means found everywhere. Rare means uncommon. Select the antonym of the word of obfuscate. What do you mean by the word obfuscate? Don't obfuscate your arguments. Don't make your arguments unclear. What, so obfuscate, what does that mean? Obfuscate means something to make things unclear. Okay, so the opposite of that would be clarify, right? So clarify would be the right answer. Obfuscate means to make some things unclear. Clarify is the opposite of the word obfuscate. Next, you have select the antonym of the word altruistic. What is the meaning of the word altruistic? A rich businessman is altruistic. There is a rich businessman who is altruistic. He gives all his wealth. He's very selfless. Altruistic means someone who is very selfless. Okay, who does not think about himself, thinks about others. That's altruistic. So yes, selfish would be the right word for it. Good. Means selfless. Selfish is the direct opposite. Select the antonym of the word insipid. Boring, tasteless, flavorful, or pale. What do you mean by the word insipid? Insipid, something that is dull, that is not, that there is no flavor, it is dull, it is not bright enough. Okay, so yes, flavorful would be the right answer for this. Okay, so flavorful, insipid means dull or lacking taste. Flavorful is the opposite of the word insipid. Okay, then you have the last word for the day, and that is select the antonym of the word obsolete. What do you mean by the word obsolete? And the opposite of it would be archaic, modern, antiquate, or defunct. So obsolete means something that is, it's a very easy word, something that is outdated, that's not relevant in today's time. What is relevant in today's time? Something that is modern, right? Obfuscate is, it's, let's put obsolete means it's obsolete. It's outdated. It is not relevant now. Okay. So over here, modern, obsolete means outdated, modern means current. Okay. So, if we see 4 options, clearly one option is different from others. Okay. All right. So guys, with this, I am coming to an end of this lecture. And we did a lot of exercises, and whatever is left, I'll be going ahead with those topics tomorrow. Anything specifically you guys want to continue tomorrow? Anything that you want to continue tomorrow? Any exercise? Particularly because there are some certain topics, though we have covered a lot of topics, but certain topics are left. Yes, tomorrow is the last class. Pranav, I'll give you the list of topics tomorrow. Tomorrow only I'll add it. You want para-jumble? Okay, we can do para-jumble tomorrow. Error spotting? Okay. All right, we'll do para-jumble and error spotting again tomorrow. Okay? All right, we'll do that. Arunesh? Okay. All right. Okay, I'll see that if I can do PYQs. All right, I'll try to see, revise all. I'll see for that, and then we can go ahead with it. Okay? Spelling corrections, Vishal. See, spelling corrections, spelling learn is a solitary exercise. I can give you guys a hint at what kind of questions will come, but spelling learning is something that you can do. We can do reading comprehension, we can do para-jumble, things that require logic rather than your vocabulary. Okay, something that require practice. Now, vocabulary, antonyms, synonyms, spelling correction, these are something that you need to learn on your own. Okay, I can just guide you. Close test also we can do. Close test was fill in the blanks only. Close test was nothing but fill in the blanks. Okay. But I can do close test also. That's okay. I'll do it. Okay, then guys, I'll take my leave and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Thank you, everyone. I'll try to do PYQ also. I can take some of the questions and then we'll discuss them. Okay. Okay, then. Thank you, everyone. All right. Have a good day. And I'll see all of you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.